Turning to the economy now, and a Fox Business alert, investors fear lifting those sanctions on Iran will add to an oversupply of crude oil on world markets, even more than is currently happening. Right now, Brent crude oil is below $28 a barrel, or was so at a certain point today. Analysts say additional crude oil from Iran could depress prices even more, and that, of course, has an impact here at home. Joining us now, Eric Bolling, co-host of The Five, host of Cashin In, and, by the way, former trader when it comes to all things oil. And you say you saw this coming last year.
I predicted this happening on the Fox Business Network for the duration of 2015 when $100 started to go down. Really, Jenna, it wasn't even about the price. It was about what was going on in fracking. There were a lot of fractivists out there trying to pull back on the fracking. It wasn't working. Fracking really took the pressure off the oil market for the United States. Oil started to tumble. I've been predicting a $25 barrel for a long time. I think you're going to get to 25. It's trading around 28 right now or so. Muted trading right now. Europe's trading actively. So I think it's going to continue south. The biggest overhang right now, besides the fact that the world is overproducing the amount that it's demanding, that's always going to put downward pressure on price. But you have Iran now. Now, we lifted sanctions on Iran. Iran has the capability to produce 4 million barrels per day. They're only producing around 3.3 million barrels per day now. You could put 700,000 additional barrels on the oil market at any given time. OPEC says they're not going to play. They don't care what price is. They're just going to continue to produce. There are so many things that say a low oil price is here for a long time.
What does that mean?
Which is great for gasoline.
Okay, great for gasoline. For the consumers, we're seeing a lot lower prices, below $2 a barrel, a gallon of gas for many of us across the country. But what does it mean in general for the economy? Because we've seen major job growth in the oil sector. Fracking, as you mentioned, has been a major expansion area. The
oil sector, the oil patch, will have a little bit of housekeeping to do. They're going to have to cut back on jobs. Think about this, though. A year ago, year and a half ago, gasoline was $4 a gallon. Now it's under $2. The difference between a $4 and $2 gallon of gasoline is around $500 billion in American drivers over the course of a year. That's a tax incentive. That's a spend incentive. We're a consumer-driven economy. 70% of our economy is driven on how much we spend. That's $500 million of additional stimulus into the economy every year just on the gasoline side. It's cold out now. Your home heating bills are going to go substantially lower this year and next year.
I read one report today said that although OPEC and some of these big Middle Eastern countries are not really concerned about the price, they're happier with this price being where it is because of what it means for the U.S. market and otherwise, that Russia, because they're being hurt by this, could pull back on production, and that might add a bottom to the prices. So whether it's $25 or it won't go lower than that. What do you think of that?
I don't think Russia can. I've heard that as well. I think Saudi Arabia would be the one who could. They could afford to pull back on production. Russia right now is sucking wind. They need every dollar they can get their hands on. They produce around 9 million barrels a day, and they export some of it. They need that income. They can't pull that back. I know it would maybe have a little bit of influence on price. They need to continue to sell more, and they're not the ones. Saudi Arabia, potentially, that would be the big
picture for you, though. You don't seem upset or nervous about
low. This.
You love it. Why do you love this?
I get heat. I came from the oil trading patch. I know all my oil friends are going to be mad at me about this. Yes, it's going to be rough on them, but the general economy, people will have so much more money to spend. When you go to the pump,
retail numbers, though, Eric, over the holidays, for example? It seems that people weren't really spending.
No, they do. Americans don't save. We have the lowest savings rate of any developed country in the world. We'll spend it. The good news is that's literally $1,500 per year in every single household's budget to go ahead and do something with. Are they going to save it? Most likely not. They're going to probably spend it. That might not be the greatest thing in the world. But for the economy, the bigger picture, the greater economy, that's fuel. That's actually jet fuel to the economy.
And you feel that'll make up any of the slack that is left out with the job growth in the oil sector?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, the energy sector is an important sector. They're high-paying jobs that come with a lot of benefits, and that will hurt. But when that's absorbed and people realize that the $2 is more likely going forward than the $4 gallon, they'll start to spend and have some fun with the money.
It's nice to see you so relaxed, Eric, on such a topic. Here we are.
It's a good thing for the vast majority of people watching right now. It's great news.
We'll take it for what it is, and we'll watch for that $25 level. If it goes below that, you're coming back on to talk about it.
Will do.
Eric, thank you. We'll see you.